was like 50 games in a row that he won. Honestly,
16. He's on 19 games in a row, so he's gonna win 3-0. He needs to get to 100 again. 19 games in a row is not enough for Evil.
it's not. It's not. It looks like we're getting started though, guys. We have got the semi-finals. Yes, guys, we're getting a semi-final played today. Ash versus Evil on ZTN. I'm starting up on Ash. He's just going to back off and let Evil take that Mega. And he's probably going to have to let Evil take some other items as well. And these guys are playing for a spot in the grand finals where they're guaranteed a minimum of $150, $200?
I believe so.
Something like that?
Be around it, yeah. We never know their exact value because of the impact of the donations. Oh, that was some really good LT. Didn't do much damage, but that was around actually 50 damage. That's a lot. 50 damage on that angle is gonna be a lot because Ash only had the top yellow, and now he picked up.
Ash is just damn carefully right now. He knows that he started with a disadvantage.
Yeah, if he loses one frag, he knows then he needs to go aggressive on Evil. So he wants to be the one being able to play passive for as long as he wants. He just wants to defend, pick up the fights, where he's the one who can do a lot of damage, but I don't think he's going to allow him to do that for much longer. Because if Ash missteps even a bit, he's dead. Look at how Evil approaches the fight. He just drops down on Ash. Because he knows he can take a lot of damage, because there's the items to fall back onto right after.
He's just getting up in his face.
Damage, yeah, he got up in his face, took like 100 damage, did 50 to Ash, and Ash went away, so there's more items to pick up for Evil. And now there's Red again. Where's Ash?
Ash is sitting by the rockets at the moment. He's timing the shards, basically, because he knows there's at least some resources that he's guaranteed to get. And now to try and get a yellow?
Well, there's bottom yellow spawning now. Will he pick it up? No, Evil's there. Ash goes for it, but that's so easy because Evil was right there, but he's gonna get top yellow as well. So he's actually gonna be outstacking Evil up until Evil picks up that mega health. And Ash should definitely push in for a fight with the LG, but he's not fast enough getting in position. Can the rocket still do the trick?
Oh, he's got the rail out though. Not a great weapon choice.
No, I mean, you cannot. In a close to mid-range fight versus Evil, if you already have the rocket out, which is a weapon he shouldn't use if Evil has the LG, because his dodge when he has LG versus rockets is out of this world. And then he switches to the rail. Evil's just gonna go forward. He doesn't care if you're gonna hit the rail or not. He knows he has much more DPS than you'll ever have with that weapon.
I'm surprised that Ash didn't die, in fact. He had a nice little bit of dodge before, but this is now the time. His time has come. Evil is in the lead. He was patient as well. He tried to make aggressive moves, but now he is converting 2-0. He's got a red, and it's as if his 3 minutes never happened, basically.
Well, they did, because he does have the 2-frag lead, and now Ash is forced to make a move.
But all his defensive plays was, like, meaningless.
Pretty much. Like, the only thing Ash can hope for, I don't think he's going to try to make aggressive moves just yet. Even dropping the scale is such a risk. He does hit the rocket, but can he get out? Oh, lucky for him, Evil does miss the rocket jump.
Yeah, that was a sloppy jump by Evil. But he's got a couple more resources to collect. And I think he's, like last time, he's going to make sure that Ash doesn't get really much more than 100 before he's going to start shaving down his armor.
Does miss the rail, and Ash could take these bottom
he got that one.
Evil wants it. That's Evil's armor to take.
Evil might give away red.
Great grenades. Great, I mean, the grenade just gave him that red armor. And he's going to be getting shards as well. Back to bottom yellow. Is Ash going to be around bottom yellow? Because Evil, if he is, Evil might just drop on it immediately. Oh, this is him.
I think Evil might have heard it spawning. Maybe not. Ash might be able to go down there and collect it himself and then go back over
200 armor
to
for
red.
Ash. He's the one taking the first rocket in the fight. He needs to back off and even takes a rail right after that.
That was a pretty sweet rail. Oh my lord.
Move by Evil. Such an astonishing move. Just because of the timing that he did it, he was like, okay, I'm gonna lose some health by doing this. But I know, I have the items fall back after. Like, that spawn frag is something that Evil shouldn't have gone for, because But he just made up for it because he knows the rotation of the yellows as well. So now he'll be able to get 100 and get ready for the red. If he wants to pick up that top yellow, maybe the shards are enough for him right now.
He's surely going to have a look. Okay, no, Ash is actually going to be able to get a yellow himself. Evil certainly could have denied it, but he was just
there was no need for
controlling
it.
the map a bit.
I mean, he'd rather be positioned and be in the center map than to get a bit more resources. And look at him, 200. And Ash hasn't done anything to his stack to even try to challenge him. He wasn't allowed to, really. And it's ridiculous because he's been controlling the map for 5 minutes and he's still the one looking for the frag. He's still the one trying to force Ash to make a mistake so that he can keep extending his lead. He's not even thinking about going passive. He's thinking about getting 20 more frags.
You know that red that Ash got about a minute and a half ago? That was his first red of the game.
And probably his last item.
He hasn't had a mega.
And I don't think he has had anything else after that. He can maybe get top yellow.
Yeah, he's worked yellows. He's got the same amount of yellows that Evil's had.
Yeah, but that's the thing, like, if you know you can't get into major items, you need to make sure you get both of the yellows. Because it's really easy to circle them on Blood Run. Like, you just take the bottom one and you have the one right after the teleporter. And you can be really careful and take that one. And Ash, this isn't the fight that he wants to take. I'm really surprised he can stay alive and succeed.
That reminded me of the Pavel moonwalking.
Versus Evil.
Yeah. I can't believe it. Ash was sneaking down the stairs. He was just on his way and Evil's like, something's a bit fishy over here. I think he smells something in the air. He looks around and Ash is just walking past him.
Again, that was the perfect moment for Evil to take the fight, because he would never lose that fight unless he screwed up massively, and there were items right after that to pick up so that he could stack himself again, even if he took a lot of damage. It's a move I like a lot, because just getting the timing of your attacks right is something that will make you win games, and will make your out of control and in control play much more effective, rather than reacting on how the fights go based on when you took the fight. It's better to plan ahead and think when you want to do it and when it's favorable for you.
Just noticed something, man. Ash has only fired 3 rails this entire game. Have we been missing some kind of epic rail control from Evil as well?
We definitely have, because, I mean, Evil's always in the center map. Like, if Ash wants to pick up the rail, he needs to go versus Evil right now, and Evil just drops on him, knowing that he has so much more stack. He can just do that, and the rail is a weapon that Ash really needs in this game, but we definitely should have mentioned it a little bit more.
Yeah, that's the weapon he relies on. It's like a bit like Demon, I feel, the way that Ash uses it. When he's hitting shots, he seems to be able to take down anybody, but Evil's got rid of his special weapon.
And not only that, Evil's got rid of the whole map. As we said, Ash picked up not one, actually 2 reds, but that's it. They picked up 2 reds. Less yellows than Evil, and no mega at all.
What's the damage like for Ash?
He's on 1.6k and Evil's 1000 damage ahead. That's rail for Ash.
But it's too late to start using the rail properly now.
Well, he just needs a namebot, wall hack, and insta-shoot.
Something like that.
And a dodge bot as well. I don't think there is any of them.
Yeah, I don't know if that exists.
I think I'm the closest. Because I dodge lands.
You and Funny Bee, together in harmony. This has been a very dominant blood. It's been really impressive, to be honest. Often a blowout might not be super exciting to watch, but this has just been Evil playing borderline perfect. Maybe remove the word borderline, and it was just a perfect blood run game.
You could remove the word borderline and instead of it putting dominant perfect game.
Just stop trying to fill gaps. It was a both.
No, you could fill gaps because you can play a perfect game in a lot of different ways. You can play a defensive perfect game, an aggressive perfect game, or just a complete dominant perfect game, as Evil did. He just controlled everything. And the first opportunity that that Ash got was right now. That Evil is in pretty much 100.
His first mega.
Armor.
He just got his first mega 9.5 minutes into the map.
Overtime. Oh my god, 2 grenades in the face.
I think that's his 3rd red. Yep. You know it's bad when you're at the end of the game and the caster can count on his fingers how many major items you've had? That's GG though, 11-0 for Evil. It is only the first map of the series, but it is a great start for the Powerhouse. Yeah, nicely done, to be honest. I wonder what guys in chat made of that game, because it was... Oh yeah, Evil missed the rocket jump, says Gexor. It wasn't perfect!
Oh,
there's a
right,
flaw.
right.
I agree, Gexor. It's a flawed game. He just ruined it. Evil 1v1 me on land without wallhack and we see what happens.
I think Ash would perform better if he took these games as Agent does. Like, Agent doesn't really care about the red or the mega. He just circles the yellows, and then he waits for both major items to clash to make a move on that. And Ash kept trying to wait for the major items to clash, but not really thinking about the yellow rotation. And it's something that you can use so well. Especially if you have good aim, you can just circle the yellows, let your opponent take the red, because the red is usually in vulnerable spots of the map. You can usually do damage when they're taking it. As long as you keep circling the yellows, you'll be fine.
Yeah, Ash, he kept on taking damage as well when he really couldn't afford to take it. It was just like the stack management of Evil onto Ash was really impressive. His item rotation, obviously he did have the start that he needed to really isolate Ash from the major items. But continuing that for minute after minute for the rest of the game is just it's pretty staggering. Let's get into game though, guys. It is the second map. Ash.
2, 1.
Let's see if he can change things up a bit, as I'm gonna start on Ash on this one. He's having the red spawn. Does he want the rail immediately? No, he goes straight over to the yellow. That's how he likes to make things work.
Funnily enough, Evil picked up all the 3 major weapons, had a 14-second delay on the mega health, which I don't think Ash has any idea about.
No, indeed.
But stacks are very, very even.
Ash needs to get over to the LG somehow, but let's see what's
And
going to
he
go on the red.
doesn't do any damage whatsoever.
Nothing.
He's screwed right now, because Evil knows he has all the time in the world to even take the yellow if he wants, but
No mega.
he has 200 armor right now, and Ash, what can he do? Going for a straight up rocket fight versus Evil is not what you want to go for.
In fairness to Ash, he's still got a shed load of armor,
Yeah.
and now the rails. This is making something count. Maybe he can translate this into the
Ash.
first blood.
Great use of the teleport, but does he have anything else? No, but look at the damage. I mean, from a pretty much impossible plan. Oh
Wow.
my god.
Just
not
popped
even.
him over the mega, and Ash has denied it. If he hit the rail as well in that fight, he would have killed him. Evil was on exactly 80 points of HP.
Yeah, it was, and it's really impressive how much damage Ash could do in a situation where it was theoretically lost. It gave himself a chance to win. Theoretical or practically. Probably practically, because in theory there was still a possibility that I could do something.
I think that fight. Sorry, I'm still thinking of that fight they had where they concluded the first kill. I think Ash, he just got kind of weirded out because he's like, I've done 160 damage with the rail. My rockets haven't been that bad. There should be no rational reason for Evil to go into a fight against me now. I assume is what he would have been thinking. And then Evil does it anyway, and I think Ash was still trying to work out why he was in the fight before he could actually establish how to get into the fight. I know these are kind of fights that Cypher used to get really annoyed about when he played against Evil.
That's the thing, like, when he plays with Evil, he's gotta be expecting to fight anywhere, because the moves he makes may not seem rational from a stacks comparison and a weapons advantage point of view, and it's mostly about stacks and the way the items are placed. He might not care that much about them, but he knows all about the psychology aspect of the game.
I
And the
think-
combat skills.
So if anything, that fight, it completely epitomizes Evil as a player,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
But then again, or now we're seeing almost 3 minutes in the game,
Mm-hmm.
and Ash does have a stack advantage. Will this matter though? There is a rocket fight, and Ash's rockets definitely being better than Evil pushes back to the yellow, and Evil picks up the red.
Well, he'll be happy with that.
Well, Evil will, but
That's what I'm saying.
Ash, I don't think he realized that he did so much more damage to Evil than Evil did to him.
Oh, Evil, he's a bit slow trying to do any damage, so in the end doesn't get any. And that Mega being up right now, is Ash going to be able to navigate his way over there? It's on, but he doesn't believe it's safe at all. His rockets are looking good, and he is rewarded with a kill.
Evil had 100, 180, right? Those were 3 perfect rockets right there.
Oh no, they were solid. I didn't think the last rocket was going to be direct. I think it felt like there was still health ticking down or something. I don't know. It was just on the edge of needing another rocket, basically.
Let's see now though, Ash needs to pick up this red extremely fast so that he can go over to the mag health. There's mag health now. If you want to fight, then there's Evil already. 50 damage, start the fight. And Evil adds to 100, 100. Ash knows that in the straight up LG fight, he would probably win. But he's out of position. He just needs to make sure he does some damage. He's going to he should pick up the grenade so he can spam down. He's going to a straight up LG fight, but he gets caught off guard massively. You cannot do that versus Evil. You
Evil
don't
was
wanna
hoping for
drop
that.
down. Yeah,
was like,
that's really what he wanted.
Troll
That's why he
face.
positioned himself there.
I'm gonna laugh
He was-
so hard if he does this. And he
He
did.
was baiting Ash to drop down because he knew that Ash knew that he was outstacking him. But he needed to pick up a much more safe route to drop down. Because he dropped down on the little ledge. But then there you have to drop down again. You have to drop 4 consecutive times.
Sometimes it's good to be unpredictable, but that was inefficient. It was unpredictable in a way, but Evil was staring right at him during the entire process. And I think that's kind of just a game breaker for Ash. He was starting to pick up a bit of momentum before that all happened. You know, he was getting some good control going. He was making decisions between the items. It was his choice, really, what item Evil was going to get, if any at all. And now he might have to start being a little more desperate if Evil keeps getting kills like this. It's all gone Pete Tong here, Eds.
It's gonna be really, really hard for Ash, and I think he's gonna try to play the next minute and a half really slowly, so that he can stack up and not really go for fights. Maybe try to figure out the timing of the items. There he is, I think he got the timing of the Mega. He cannot get caught off guard right now. He's trying to bait Evil into mid-stepping. I think he's gonna get timing of the red as well now. He should probably be where Evil was checking. I'm pretty sure he was around the corner there. Oh, that rail. Ash, he was so naive in thinking that Evil would not go for that angle. So naive, or maybe stubborn, really. Because he knew the angle was available. He just didn't bother to dodge that whatsoever.
Algae from Evil looking pretty good. Ash is gonna hit a rail on his way out, but there's no item behind him for him to acquire. Evil should be able to get onto the Mega Health also, but he does leave up the Mega Health for a long time here on Cure. Sometimes it'll be up for a minute, even 2 minutes at a time if Evil's the one in control. He simply doesn't like taking the time out to get it. And in fact, I'm surprised he did it just then.
Oh, the pummel. And the rail. That's
little
game.
combo. Pretty much.
And I'm gonna blame like the lack of chance that Ash had in the last fight to not dodging the rail angle, because not dodging that would mean that he'd have roughly 100 last stack to go for the fight that Evil pushed in. And Evil only pushed for that fight because he knew he was not stacking yet completely, and he had the items up.
I think it was at the fight that you were talking about before when he dropped down on those little boxes.
Yeah, as well. I mean, there was just a lot of small mistakes from Ash. That was pretty much any other player. He would still get the job done, but you can't make 5 mistakes with Evil.
Nice little spam shot. He's hitting everything he needs to.
Versus Evil, you can leave with item mistakes. He won't capitalize as usually on that, but on fight mistakes, you gotta be pinpoint. Super accurate there. Or
Evil's hitting a lot of rail, if you haven't
he always
noticed.
is. He's 73%. Wow. No, that is a lot.
You know what? I think Ash might just have to tab out of this game real soon because it's going worse and worse. I said like a couple of weeks ago that I felt Ash is a top 3 player in Europe at the moment. I want to take that back.
You can't. No refunds allowed.
I'm serious. I don't even think he's a top 5 player in Europe at the moment.
Who is the top 5 of Europe right now?
Evil, Cypher,
Okay, that's
Agent,
easy now.
Demon.
Okay.
And I've got to think on the other one. I even think if Sparty practiced even a little bit, he'd be better than Ash. But I don't know if I'd put him in top 5. I don't think I will. Huh? Pavel, yeah, it'd be Pavel, yeah. Sorry. Why did it take me so long to think of that? Whoa,
Oh, Ash
okay.
completely destroying Evil on it. I've never seen Evil so caught with
I think he was
his pants down
switched
right
off,
there.
to be honest. I think Evil's
Yeah.
looking at the game and he's like, do I even need to try right now? And he's like, yeah, take some kills. Here, I'll give you a couple. Buy one, get one free. Ash just gonna definitely take them, but you can't fool us into thinking the game was close, Ash. Only the first minute and a half was. Or maybe it was 2.5 minutes. I might be wrong there. I believe that QuakeCon does not clash with the World Cup, by the way. Someone asking in chat. GG though!
Not.
10-3.
I'm actually not sure on that, but I'm gonna check right now.
I'll tell you right now because I know that TI4 doesn't clash with the World Cup, but I know that TI4 and QuakeCon are on at the same time, basically. So, yeah, by that logic, it doesn't clash.
No, I mean, World Cup group stage is gonna be during half of June until the 17th of June, and then it's back in November.
So maybe the first day of QuakeCon will clash with the World Cup?
In October as well.
Yeah. What, is it going on for that long?
Yeah, because they have like some games from like the second week, second or third week of June. They have like a ton of games from the 12th to the 18th. They have games that week, and then they have more games in the first week of September, and then they have games in October again, in one day of October. Or not.
Fair.
Am I completely wrong in this?
Shut up, let's get into game, man. It's Evil versus Ash. Match point right now for Evil to see if he can make it over to the grand finals, where he'll be waiting for either Chronic, Cypher, Demon, or Pavel to go against him. Checking out Ash off the beginning, and it's... Woo, that was a hot fight.
Can Ash capitalize on Evil being kind of trapped in there, though? Evil only has a rocket launcher, but Ash not really trying to push in for a fight. He has the LG and the rail, so he could have tried to go for a mid-range fight, but he wasn't confident on his own LG, and he was respecting Evil's rocket launcher there. But he still has the rail, he should use it now. There is one rail from Ash. Can he land one more? He's not in a favorable position to switch the rail. If he does, he will just do it as a teleporter, and in fact he does it anyway.
Wow, he so nearly managed to click the rail shot, but it was just a fraction of a second too late. That's really disheartening for him, considering he even managed to catch Evil in the air, dropping down from red. I mean, he was getting so much damage at the beginning, and yet Evil still manages to get under his skin. After a red, maybe he's going to have the energy now to go for more. Ash cannot really show his face. They're just sidestepping, they're just trying to read each other. And there's going to be the yellow up. Ash, he does manage to drop and get it, but he takes damage immediately afterwards, and that's going to be another presumably
Look at how
easy frag.
Evil used the rockets in there. He just sees a ton of damage, and now he knows Ash is so low that anything would kill him at this point. Evil's even covering all of the 25 HP, and that's a huge frag. Back to Red, not taking any damage in the pros. Again, Evil just asserting his dominance. There's the pretty air rocket though.
Ash, can you survive from this? Unlikely. We've got the yellow up. Evil, he can get rid of plenty of items on the map. There's 2 greens gone, but Ash will get the yellow actually.
It's funny though, when we're casting Evil Flight and we ask if the other player gonna survive, they usually don't survive even till the end of the sentence.
Yeah, that's true.
That should be an achievement. Survive until the end of a sentence when you're playing versus Evil.
Ash is just feeling bad because he got demoted on my list. I feel bad, to be honest. Because I really like Ash. He was like the glory child that we were looking at. He was going to be the one who steps up to the challenge and who starts taking down consecutive best of 3s, best of 5s versus the likes of Cypher, Evil,
I called him
whoever.
to be one of the best players of 2014. I mean, in fairness, he is one of the best players in 2014.
He plays against Caster way too much.
Who?
Caster.
He plays way too much and doesn't practice a lot.
He hasn't got that the
Well,
champion's
he
mindset.
just hit 4 rails in a row. Yeah, I think he ran out of steam with that. But I just think he plays way too much and doesn't really practice at all. He just relies on his playtime to do the practice for him.
No, I think you're right. He's kind of like capped himself in terms of the amount he's actually learning from what he does.
Imagine if he spent all the time he's playing Quake, he spent that time practicing.
Looking at demos.
Not exactly looking at demos, but
Like
I mean,
splitting the
just
time.
practicing. But I mean, looking at them is a good way to practice. But really practicing, he'd easily be the best player Quake has ever had because he does spend a lot of time with it.
No, you're probably right actually. He spends an enormous amount of time. 1 health left for Evil. There we go. We've got a kill from Ash. Are we gonna get signs of promise from the deliberate murder player? He does need that lightning gun still. He's got himself up to 100, 100. No, he's leaving the health bubble up, and this is lights out. And away we go for Evil.
Okay, so do you want to make a prediction right now of how many maps is Evil gonna win in a row until he loses one more? If he wins this one, he'll be with 22 map wins.
I think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna win more than 30 maps in a row.
I think he's gonna make it. Wait.
No, because
he has a finals.
exactly. I think he's gonna lose a map in the finals.
And Cypher's playing really well. I watched the last Faces final, and I think Cypher would have won that. I think Cypher was really unlucky to lose Sinister.
Oh, of course, Cypher won him up on Sunday. I forgot about. No, he didn't win the map though because he
didn't
timed
win the
out.
map.
That's true.
I think Sinister was Cypher's map there, but he was really unlucky in one situation. And
That's bullshit. Sorry.
What? In Sinister, when
Yeah,
Evil got away with 4L? The lucky part
happened
wasn't that.
multiple times for both of them.
Shut up, Sue. The
No.
lucky part wasn't that Evil got away with 4L. The lucky part was that Cypher didn't realize that Evil was low because he wasn't expecting Evil to push in for the fight in the first place, so he couldn't capitalize at all. So after that happened and Evil got away
How's
with 4L,
that luck
Evil
and just failure of observation? It was a close game, and Evil won it fair and square. Ash, he's on a bit of a charge at the moment, so we really should keep an eye on this, but I think just as we say that, he might die.
Yeah, I was analyzing
God.
that way before you. I knew that was gonna happen.
Shut up.
And I think in Lost World, Cypher was bound to win and start making a comeback. He timed out and he just couldn't get the connection working again on time.
Like, it was looking extremely, like 80-90% chance for him to win that map when he timed out. Maybe even more, some might say. So there's very few times where I would ever blame a map loss on just luck, to be honest. And I think the Sinister game is definitely not one of the games where I would associate luck as a major factor in it. Evil, he's picking up more and more frags, and we've got 3.5 minutes to go. Ash has got to hatch some kind of epic plan if he wants to get back in this game and in the series to keep himself in the 125 FPS May League. He didn't get to play Agent today. In the quarters, he got the straight buy, so semis is going to offer him a couple of extra pennies. I guess there's one thing he can thank Agent for. But it just looks like the end of the road is nearby. And talking about the luck, I believe that most of the time in Quake, players make their own luck. In terms of spawns as well, you kind of know where somebody's going to spawn.
In terms of initial spawns as well.
You can kind of tell vaguely where you're going to spawn based on where you died compared to where your opponent was.
Spawns?
Huh?
What about the initial spawns?
Initial spawns is the worst, but then if that player who gets the bad spawn starts making comebacks and gets their time in control, then I kind of void the whole
the luck,
initial spawns in the first place.
There exists luck in everything. In everything in life there is luck. What isn't luck is how players react to that and how they base their decisions on what happens.
You can always execute your shots better.
Even if you get a bad spawn, the opponent got a luckier spawn, you can work with that and somehow make that an advantage. Even at the psychological level, because the other player will know that he has the advantage, so you can even work with that if that's the only thing you have.
That's exactly why when Demon goes on about luck sometimes in the games, I'm kind of miffed. Because every time I'm watching and he's calling luck, I'm like, well, there's X, Y, and Z that you did or didn't do, and that could have made a difference to how the result of the game went. So there might be a couple of games where I might shout lucky, but it's more of a kind of, I don't mean it in the pure luck sense, I mean it a bit of a clutch or a bit of a lack of observation or moment of hilarity.
A very lucky moment that I remember was when was also on Sinister when Cypher was playing Evil and he had full control of the map and he just had a wonderful trap to kill Evil. It was above the Mega and he dropped. Evil was coming from the top, from the bottom yellow, coming from the little tunnel there, and Cypher drops on Evil. Evil is 100, 100, Cypher 200, 200, already has the ulti on Evil, nice combo. And Evil pins him to that little latch that nobody even knew it was there.
Yeah. Oh man. Sinisters. Was that you talking about a Sinister game, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sinisters offer us some great moments.
Not Cypher.
Yeah,
Definitely
true.
not Cypher.
As a spectator, we have been Sinister has blessed us with much entertainment. With just over 10 seconds to go, Ash is going to get himself another kill, but Evil wants to call the GG's. He's not messing around. He's got important things to do. And that is going to be a clean sweep for Evil today. 6 maps won, 0 maps lost. And I can't say he looked that much weaker against Ash than he did against Etty.
But he didn't look quick at all. He just completely swept both of them. Evil is Evil. Is dominant, and when will his kingdom end? Because we talked about it.